the Lebanon Raiders are hoping to break into the Division II semifinals. But standing in our way are the upset-minded Hollis Brookline Cavaliers. It's the 2014 NHIAA Division II quarterfinals, and they're coming your way next on the YCN Game of the Week.
Welcome to the Metcalf Gymnasium at Lebanon High School in Lebanon, New Hampshire, where today it's the NHIAA Division II quarterfinal. Tonight, the third-seeded Raiders take on the sixth-ranked Hollis Brookline Cavaliers on the YCN Game of the Week. Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Rivers, joined again by Andy Morse, and it is tournament time. The place will be packed. Quarterfinals, and the two teams that are coming off victories in the first round.
2 victories, and that is the only thing that they have in common, because Lebanon had to overcome a 16-point deficit against Goffstown. They had to fight and claw and win it in overtime in the last minute, Jim. But Hollis Brookline, they come in here with an easy victory, and they really limited their opponent. They only allowed 22 points last week against Co-Brown, and they're going to be tenacious tonight.
Well, they built a 6-point halftime lead and held the Bears to just 3 points in the third period and 5 points in the final quarter. Matt Fothergill had a 3-pointer in the final seconds to nail down that win. So you're right, they had a little bit of an easier time than the home team here, Lebanon, did. Let's take a look at a couple of the players we'll keep an eye on for Hollis. Number 55, Shea Whalen, 6'6", and the long, athletic, moves well from side to side, and he'll be a force for those guards from Lebanon coming into the paint.
Yeah. Shea Whalen, he uses every inch of that 6'6" frame. Like I said, Co-Brown only scored 22 points, and it's because of Whalen. He is the anchor. The whole defense is centralized on Whalen shutting down everyone who drives, forcing the opponents to jack up threes and lose their offensive rhythm.
Well, he had 8 blocked shots in that victory over Co-Brown in the first round. Teammate Logan Blake, number 11, had 13 points along with Dan Bentall, but Logan Blake, a senior, they got a big game out of him in that one over Co-Brown.
They got a big game then, they need a big game now, because Logan Blake, he shines in transition. He's 6'2", so if you get him in transition, he can attack the rim. If there's nobody set up on Lebanon, he is going to live in the paint, but don't sleep on his outside stroke. He likes to work inside out.
Well, there's one thing that Lebanon cannot afford to do, and that is fall behind by 16 points from any point forward. Quarterfinals, semi, or final. The rest of the field is just too good. They fell behind by 16. A diminutive guard threw up 7 3-pointers in a row. And Coach Matty said, he backed up on us. We didn't come out after him. And these long, high-arching threes just went in. Well, thanks to Nick Shepard's 3-pointer at the buzzer at the first half, kind of got Lebanon loosened up. They came out and went on a 25-3 run. Ended up in overtime. It was a nail-biter, but you can't fall behind like that from this point forward.
No, Keith Matty will tell you that if you let up 15 threes like the Raiders did in that first round game, you're not expected to win. They're fortunate because they came out in that second half and they put together that run, and most importantly, they finished strong. The last minute of overtime, they went on a 7-0 run to end it. So these Raiders, they finished strong.
Well, in this Hollis team, we remind you, one of only 2 teams in the state to beat Portsmouth this season. So this is going to be a tough opponent for Lebanon tonight. Dominic Morrill, a senior, hopefully for him not playing in his last game, and he has been a force all year.
Yeah, Dominic Morrill is the big man for the Raiders. That doesn't mean he plays in the paint. That means he scores, and he scores at will, because he can shoot it at range, and he is very tall. He's 6'2", so he can shoot it over defenders, but he gets good amount of rebounds. He can defensive, offensive glass. He's the man.
You got to keep your eye on out there. He had a great game against Bishop Brady as Martin Gratigy, and he had 18 points in their win over Goffstown. And we might also mention that Colin Saw will be back and seeing some minutes tonight. But Gratigy has really finished out the season strong.
Yeah, he's been a strong up-and-comer. We had a game earlier this season against Hanover, and he really shone then. And the way to describe Gratigy is quick. He is that really quick guard who can get into the teeth of a defense. That's very important tonight because the Cavaliers play an extended zone. So if you want to break that, you need that quick guard to initiate the offense.
Well, Lebanon is going to try and run, and Hollis is going to try and slow it down. It's going to be a bit of a chess match. It's tournament time. Place will be packed. Doesn't get any better than this. We'll have the starting lineups and the start of tonight's game when we come back. Welcome back to the Metcalf Gymnasium at Lebanon High School for the YCN Game of the Week. Let's go now to the public address announcer for the starting lineups.
First for the Cavaliers, at guard, number 4, Matt Hollis. Warriors, at guard, number 4, Martin Graniger. For the Cavaliers, at guard, number 5, Cole. Sweat card, number 13, Kieth. That's the third card for the Cavaliers, number 15, Daniel Metcalf. For the Raiders, at forward, number 20,
We'll be right back with tonight's opening tip right after this on the YCN Game of the Week.
YCN's Game of the Week is brought to you in part by M.J. Harrington Jewelers, dedicated to craftsmanship and quality service with a strong commitment to our community.
Well, the Lang Metcalf Gymnasium is jacked tonight, Andy, and there's not much of a seat left here in the house. Let's take a look at the starters. For Lebanon, guards here, Martin Gradigan. Also out there, KJ Matty, the freshman. Martin, of course, a senior. Up front, Dominic Morley at forward, a senior. Gage Young, a senior. Nick Shepard, a senior. And before Hollis, Matt Fothergill, a junior. Cole Gallant, a senior. Logan Blake, a senior. Jason Conant, a senior, and the big guy, Shea Whalen, a senior. And we are about ready to go here as Shepard and Whalen get this thing underway. And as we said in the open, watch for the Cavaliers to try and slow things down a bit. And of course, the Raiders love to run. And there's our first turnover. And of course, you've got the crowd on your side if you're Lebanon.
And that's exactly what you don't want if you're the Cavaliers. Don't get this crowd started. Shut them up, score first.
Although, I got to tell you, not a bad crowd up from Hollis.
No, they filled their side of the section as well.
And Martin Gradigan, here's the first. Dominic Morrill, nothing. We saw Gradigan have a great game against Brady on our telecast, and then another great game against Goffstown. The winner of this will face either Portsmouth or Plymouth, and they're playing tonight. I understand that Portsmouth's number 2 guy is out, so that could be a pick'em game. Brady playing Pelham tonight. There's a steal by Lebanon. You can see both teams showing a little bit of the butterflies, I think.
Yeah, the defense is going to win early on until the teams can find their groove in the offensive side of the ball.
A couple of turnovers for each team early. There's the first of what'll be many rebounds by Shea Whalen. He is a big body, not just tall. He's a wide body too.
Yeah, he got the defensive rebound and he altered the shot.
Now it's been defense thus far. There's a block. We said he had 8 of them against Cole Brown. There's number 1 right off the bat. Looked like he took Gage Young to school. Was it Young? Or maybe it was Morrill. I forget who was. Minute gone in this game, still looking for our first point. Yeah, it was Morrill. And we have our first foul.
Oh, Nick Shepard cleared space with his elbows there. No call, no offensive foul called. He was just clearing space. It wasn't aggressive.
Well, Shepard going to the line. The foul is on Danny Bentall, his first. He had a pretty good night against Cole Brown as well. And tournament time is when you've got to make these.
And Nick Shepard, a very good shooter from the outside. It's very much like him to hit all of his free throws.
Well, Lebanon really coming off their best regular season in 15 years. They're 9-1 here, 7-2 on the road. The only loss here was to Pembroke Academy earlier in the year on a three-pointer at the buzzer. Going underneath for the big guy. Big rebound. Radishin pushing it. Underneath to Morrill, around it out, tapped. And Shea, Whalen showing some elbows of his own.
Gage Young's at 3 field goal attempts, doesn't have a basket yet. I think Whalen is really altering his shot right now.
Put back is no good by Bentall. Yeah, at least early on it doesn't appear that Hollis was trying to slow things down much. That foul is on Dom Morrill, his first. 2-0. Lebanon.
The Whalen double team there. That's what they're going to want to do all game. Don't let him get anything easy.
All right, they'll reload. Martin Gradishin out front.
Right now the Cavaliers are playing a 2-3 zone, but they're extending far out to meet the three-point shooters at the top of the key.
Nice pass in the corner.
And KJ Maddie hits it from the corner. The coach's son, the freshman, not daunted by the quarterfinal matchup.
First tray of the night. Right back comes Bentall.
That was good three-man weave there for the Cavaliers. That's good transition basketball. That was tipped. Another block.
Another block. And the official out on the perimeter made the foul call. That's one on Whalen.
Dominic Morrill's 0 for 2 from deep right now. He needs to find his shooting stroke.
And it's a Shepard at the line. Lebanon on a 7-game winning streak. Their last loss was at Bishop Brady back on January 17th. That's called the home roll right there.
And the shooter's touch. That's 3 for 3 from the stripe for Shepard.
Lebanon averaging just under 70 points a game. Hollis Brookline about 57. The Cavaliers working on a 4-game winning streak. Their last loss, ironically, was to Goffstown back on February 20th.
Raiders extending a full-court trap.
Oh, what a pretty feed. Whalen.
That's been busted 2 times in a row now by the Cavaliers.
You get the feeling this one is going to right down to the wire. Austin Pelletier got sandwiched by a couple of black jerseys down there. He should go to the line.
And it was on, I think, number 55. I believe that's, no, excuse me, it is on just number 5. So it is not on the big center, Whalen. That's important. You can't have him in foul trouble.
Old Gallant. Pelletier misses the first. As always, don't forget to stay tuned for the Kearsarge World turning up the heat play of the game.
And the rule of free throw, no good. They say it touched the top of the basket, excuse me, the backboard.
Keith Maddie But Coach Matty having a running conversation with one of the officials. Nice quick hands. Austin Wiley knocked the ball away. Now he's got it. They have to end up standing up here. That far corner down there is problematical with both teams in our way. Dominic Morrow uses the glass. Cavs are going to push it. They'll look for the big guy in the alley-oop one of these times.
And Shane Whalen gets the and one. He is using his size to all advantages right now. That is the third basket for Whalen.
All right, we're going to pick up his foul shot right after this timeout. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, it's a one-point game. A chance right now for Whalen to tie things up. And Coach Matty has a word with a couple of the officials. Not sure what about, but...
Yeah, he's talking about the free throw that was taken by Pelletier. It went to the top of the backboard. It touched and fell back through. It wasn't counted. Usually it does count, but you know, in the NBA, college basketball, if it hits the shot clock, then it's not counted. But of course, there's no shot clock in high school basketball.
Not yet, anyways.
Yes. And Pelletier getting the defensive rebound, and he's getting tied up, but you got to love the effort. Two players going to the floor.
Wiley on the inbound to KJ Matty, and the freshman will bring it up. 7-6, 3:45 to go. Quick feed underneath, all alone.
Oh, what a pass by KJ Matty. A one-handed flip pass. Nice move.
Getting a little physical underneath, Andrew.
And you can count on Nick Shepard to be the aggressor. He plays with a chip on his shoulder, and he has good sportsmanship, but he will let you know that he is going to use all 5 of his fouls.
That'll send Logan Blake to the line. And an appearance by Colin Sow for the first time in 3 games. He missed the Cobron game. Missed the Brady game. And Coach Matty told us he'd see some minutes here.
Shea Whalen went up and over the defender there for the 2 and the putback. That's 6-6 on display.
9-8, Lebanon on top. We talked about the impact he was going to have on the game, and you can see it already. Got a couple of block shots. Alan Sow has it knocked away.
Oh, and they call a hand foul on KJ Matty. He thought he had the clean strip coming down.
Hey, don't forget, if your business is interested in getting your message out during our game of the week or in advertising with us, drop us an email to info@ycnnow.com and we'll send you out a package. I tell you, there's some physical play going on there. Jay Whalen's got a body on him at every moment in that paint. That time it was Chiafretti.
Good hands there. Whalen's fouled on the defensive rebound.
I think it was Paul Pelletier. 9-8, 2:36 to go. Coming up at halftime, we'll have highlights and stats brought to you by HR Clough and Kearsarge Oil, your energy specialist. Full court pressure now by the Raiders. There's the big guy, and he's fouled. They're going to go to him all night, Andy.
Yeah, the Raiders don't have anyone who they can match up with one-on-one against Whalen. Their tallest player is Dom Morrill. He's 6'2", and that is just not going to cut it against this center. He is a center, not a forward, but a center.
He's a beast. That's on Giaffretti, his first. Right now, Whalen has 6 of his team's 8 points. He has to tie it right here, right in front of the Lebanon student body, and does. 7 points in the night for him. 9-9. Yeah, you get the feeling that probably neither of these teams is going to build much of a lead in this game. It's going to go back and forth all night.
Yeah, Lebanon with their quickness and outside shooting, and Hollis Brookline with their inside presence, points in the paint.
By Wally doesn't drop. Until they start making them, Hollis will give them that shot. Running one-hander by Cole Gallant. And Hollis has their first lead of the night, I believe. Patty doing the quarterbacking. Colin Sauce for a shot, nothing. And he shot right in front of the Hollis student body, and they let him know it.
Yeah, as you mentioned before, Jim, they did travel well. They traveled well, and they brought blue to the Lebanon Raiders court tonight.
Full court pressure by the Raiders. Yeah, you got to feel bad for Colin Saw. He's been out for 2 games. It's tough to get that shooting touch back.
Good defense there.
Yeah, good defense because Papineau had good position. He worked himself into good position for a shot.
But Gradigan, he's sneaky quick, and he can do that. He can elevate before you can and strip that ball clean. That's good moves from Martin Gradigan.
11-9, a minute 28 to go in period 1. Tune in every week for Capital Connections, premiering Saturdays at 5:30 on WYCX. Now in high def, also on Comcast Channel 713. They visit with the movers and shakers affecting policy and politics in the I-89 and I-91 corridors. And a travel call on the Cavaliers.
And it's right back to Raider ball. The crowd loves that as the Raiders section answers the Cavaliers.
That's what high school sports is all about. That's going to be out. We'll take a timeout with a minute 8 to go here, and we will be right back with first period finish. It's like Shea Whalen is getting a bit of a breather, as well he should. He has played the first 7 minutes and 52 seconds of this game. Or 6:52, I should say. Raiders looking to tie things up here in the final minute.
And KJ Maddie with his second three from that same corner. Oh, and I think they're gonna call it trip.
Coach Maddie is not a happy camper.
And Coach Maddie, he likes to argue with his hands behind his back. You see, it's a good strategy there.
It's called tee prevention. It
yes.
prevents you getting those tees.
You don't want to be too just demonstrative.
You don't. Well, thank goodness they don't have the seatbelt rule anymore that they had back in the 80s when the coach had to stay on the bench. We like to call it the Rose Galligan. She coached women's basketball at Pembroke, the Rose Galligan rule. All right, the foul is on Gradigan. Big rebound under a minute. Shepard looking baseline. And a foul call. These 3 veteran officials that are not letting this thing get out of hand, I guarantee you.
Yeah, they're not taking much flack from the coaches. They're veteran officials, like you said, but we talked to Coach Matt, and he said when you get this deep in the playoffs, it doesn't matter who the referees are. You just got to play.
Well, and you also, at this point in the playoff, you're going to get the best officials. Austin Pelletier. They have to reach a certain rating to be able to do games, quarters, semis, and finals in all sports. And here's Steele. "18 seconds. And a hook shot. Drops in Logan Blake.
That's big. That's big. They don't have Whalen in there, but they still able to get points in the paint.
Yeah, if you can get him a little bit of rest. And the first period is going to end with Lebanon on top, 14-13. This is turning out to be a great tournament game. We'll have second period action coming right up.
YCN's Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Vermont and New Hampshire VNA, providing the highest quality home health care and hospice services to individuals and their families throughout the Connecticut River Valley region.
Well, no doubt about it. Both teams have brought their student bodies tonight. It's a one-point game at the end of one, and the filling out period is over, I'd say, Andy, huh?
Yeah, it's very easy to see how these teams are going to win the game. Lebanon is going to hit threes, and they're going to run, and that is going to get them a big lead. Or they're going to give up offensive rebounds. And the Cavaliers are going to pound them in the paint and just use their 6'6" center to solidify themselves on both ends of the court. So it's going to be who controls the tempo, Jim? Who controls the tempo?
All right, the Cavaliers start the period with the ball, trailing by a point. Doesn't drop for Blake. And the big guy is still not out there. Is that a little surprising to you?
It is. Lebanon went on a little run at the end of that first quarter when Whalen was out. But, you know, the big man, he needs his rest too.
Well, you wonder what impact it'll have on him if Lebanon is able to get them into a running game.
Well, that was a hurried three by Nick Shepard. Not a good shot there.
I think we'll see him soon. But Lebanon has to take advantage of the time when he's not in there. Steal. Nick Shepard tying up Blake.
And that's a senior move right there. He had a bad shot, air ball three. So what did he do? He came back and he got a tie up on the defensive end. He didn't hang his head. He put it right back to work.
All right, Whalen back into the game. Cavaliers, not a real pressing team. They fall back into their zone defense. And a chance for them to take the lead here. They go to the big guy, posted up. I'm going to call him for travel. Veteran official Dennis Ordway on the call. And again, they pull back. No pressure. They allow Gradition to bring it up along with Matty. Matty is 2 for 2 on the threes. Colin Saw also back into the game. Move the ball quickly underneath, taken away by the Cavs. And they'll try and get the lead back.
Excellent rotation defense by the Raiders. Pelletier was right there on the baseline drive. They had 4 guys crashing the defensive glass. This is great defensive rotation from the Raiders.
All right, it's going to be Fothergill inbounding it. Let's see what the move Whalen makes. Get Chiafretti on him right now. Good job of denial by Chiafretti. It's Cole Gallant with a bucket. And they have the lead, 15-14. Going to be a lot of lead changes here tonight. Matty had a notion. Quick move. Nothing for Gradition. And for the Cavaliers to expand on their lead. Here's Cole Gallant blocked away by Sal.
And for a player who's missed the last couple of games, his defensive acumen is right on point. That was very good strip there from Sal.
And a timeout taken. 5:48 to go here in the first half. 15-14. Hollis Brookline on top. We'll be right back. All right, again, it's Matt Fothergill on the inbounds underneath the Hollis bucket. And the big guy trying to work his way in. I tell you, Kieth Freddy has got his hand full out there. He must be giving up a half a foot. They're not going to give Matty that three in the corner.
Not after he's hit 2 already.
And they go to Colin Sow. Fothergill picked up. And it's blocked from behind by Gradijan.
Man, he is good at that. That's the second time Martin Gradijan has had a block from behind tonight.
Well, he was beaten on the play, but he didn't give up on it. And this time, a timeout is taken with 5:18 to go here. 15-14, Hollis Brookline. We'll be right back. Hey, don't forget, YCN now has 2 high-def channels to serve you with local programming and network affiliations. On WICX, you'll continue to find the great outdoor lifestyle network, Outside Television. And on WYCU, tune into Retro TV for all its great old-time shows. Tough TV for men and the things they love. And, of course, the PBJ network, Andy's favorite network, the Children's Network. You're on YCN, your local view.
You know what time it is? It's peanut butter jelly time.
It's cartoon time, Andy. All right, again, Fothergill will come way out to Gallant. Go to the big guy who's posted up high.
Triple teamed.
Open shot, right side, nailed by Bentall. 3-point lead, largest lead of the night for the Cavaliers right here. With 5 to go in the half.
And here it is, you can see the Cavaliers, they get down their stance and their arms extended, and it looks like it takes up the whole lane.
Yeah, Freddy drew the foul.
And Freddy had a heads-up play there. He did not go up. He pump faked first. You got to use that. That's your tool against the taller defenders.
Yeah, he was double teamed and still got through the foul. That is going to be on Whalen, his second. Yeah, and that's what they've got to do, is get Whalen in foul trouble.
Yeah, that opens up the key, the paint. They need to get inside because they survive shooting threes. How the easiest way to get open looks? Drive and kick.
Well, Hollis 9-2 at home and 5-3 on the road. They've not been a great road club this year. They lost to Pembroke, Pelham, and Goffstown all on the road. Averaging 57 points a game, giving up only 42.
Yeah, those are 3 quality opponents to lose
They are.
to.
Well, it's been a tough year in this division. Now that we're down to the final 8, there are no cakewalks. Fothergill, double team in the corner. Going to be out off the foot of Logan Blake right in front of us.
And the Raiders had 4 defenders on 2 Cavaliers there. They were really suffocating that corner. They trapped them there, and they got the turnover.
You know, we talk about the threes and the shooting. You really get the feeling that defense is going to win this game for somebody.
Absolutely, and they play different styles of defense. Lebanon like the full court press, man-to-man, while these Cavaliers, as you can see, are in the 2-3 zone. And it's working out for the Cavaliers.
Gage Young had his shot blocked from the corner. J. Matty will dish it off in the corner. Just very good defense being played on both ends of the court right now. Fothergill. Shepard staying right with him. In-your-face defense.
Yeah, that's exactly how you want to describe that.
And we have another timeout with 3:56 to go. 17-15, Hollis Brookline. We'll be right back. 17-15 with 3:56 to go. 2 fouls on Whalen. I think Dominic Morrow just has 1. And we've had more timeouts in this first half than I can recall. And during the regular season, these coaches are using their timeouts.
Well, we always like to say that playoffs are more intense, and they are. The players try harder. You need to recoup a little more, so the coaches, they see that, and they call more timeouts.
2-point lead for the Cavs, and they have the ball. Hook shot in the paint. Right there for the putback.
Oh, that was
Papineau.
fortunate there. That lefty hook was not going to find anything.
That was right place, right time for Papineau. 4-point lead, largest lead of the night for either team. Hollis has got it, and on the steal, they have the ball. There's a collision. Nick Shepard colliding over there with Fothergill. See who's they're going to call the foul on Shepard. Yep, it's on Shepard.
I think Shepard's bleeding. That he went right to the locker room. I think they got to get him stitched up.
And if there's any blood on the uniform larger than a quarter, it's got to be changed. That's number 2 on him. Fothergill at the line, yet to score tonight. And didn't get the bounce there. Our defense on the baseline, they'll kick it out to the corner. And a turnover will bring it back to Hollis.
Keith Matty is pleading. He said that was a tip ball, but the referees are not hearing any of it.
I don't think you could hear it anyways with this crowd. Fothergill, a little fancy dribbling to bring it up. And again, they're going underneath to Peterson, right? 25.
Yes, Peterson. He is just one of many people surviving and thriving in the paint for the Cavaliers. They are displaying their dominance in there.
Well, again, they're giving Whalen some time off, and you wonder if this up-tempo game has got him gassed a little bit, or they're just...
Well, you want to save him for the fourth quarter because you know that's going to be when things are called very tight and you need your defensive anchor in there.
And you don't want him picking up his 3rd foul in the final 2 minutes. They've got a 6-point lead right now, and at the line, it'll be Dominic Morrill on the foul on Fothergill. Six-point lead, again, largest lead of the night for either team. Hyatt for the rebound, Cole Gallant. Tried to force it in the paint.
Right into the teeth of that Lebanon defense. Both teams, they have about 5 defenders in the paint when anybody drives. It's very hard to get into the paint and to the rim.
And again, the Cavaliers pulled back in their zone defense. They allow the Raiders to bring it up across half court. Dominic Morrill, like that baseline, they shut it down. Got a notion on the 3.
Cavaliers are not allowing the Raiders open looks from the perimeter.
And their big men underneath are very quick going laterally.
Raiders are fortunate there. They had a travel call go their way. They got the ball back immediately. But Whaley took it hard there, and he still couldn't get it over the big men with Whalen out.
Out it comes to Matty. Quick catch. Gabe Junk picking up the loose ball.
And the height differential is apparent for the Raiders. They really can't get over the top of these Cavaliers.
Minute 45 to go. A couple of players tangled up down there. They're very aggressive on the boards. It's going to come over to Hollis. Like at halftime, we'll have highlights and stats brought to you by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Oil, your energy specialist. Full court pressure here by the Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders down 6 here, minute and a half left to play. Let's see if they can close it out.
Foul elbow is going to be called on Cole Gallant, I believe. That's his second. And again, the Cavaliers are content in allowing the Raiders to bring the ball up court. This is Matty, freshman who has played with a whole bunch of seniors this year that have had a great year. Morrill.
Yeah, they need Morrill to get going. He's been cold first half.
I think the whole team has been cold offensively, except for those 2 threes that Matty threw up. foul is called on Hollis.
And the Cavaliers are doing a great job of crashing the offensive glass. Now, the Raiders, they have to combat that. They're boxing out, they're doing a good job, and what they need to do is just stick with it. They have to get some over-the-back calls, and they'll even out over the course of the game. But if they can stick with it, stick on that defensive glass, they can really get this lead and push it. That's what they want. They want to get that board and push the tempo.
All right, at the line, it'll be Austin Pelletier. And he doesn't get the roll. We got 9 fouls on Hollis and 8, so we're in the bonus situation. The final minute of this half. Lebanon with only 2 points in this period. Big rebound, taken down by Young. Nearing under 30.
KJ Maddie's got a step.
Big rebound by Pelletier. Got it out.
A good step back.
Finally, Austin Pelletier. They had 3 shots at the basket. And it's a 4-point spread with 16 seconds to go.
And Jim, that's amazing. The Raiders have scored 4 points in this quarter, and it's still a 4-point differential.
Yeah, they've only given up 7.
This defense is smothering tonight for both sides.
All right, and right now, the Raiders are blanketing everybody on the court. They've got 16 seconds to go. A steal, and they could turn this into 2. Most of the highlights have been on defense here this half. A couple of threes by Matty, but a couple of blocks by Whalen. I'm still not sure why he has been on the bench so long in this half. Apparently, you're going to go with a smaller team right here. We have some talk at the over at the scorers table, so why don't we take a quick time out here with 16 seconds to go. We'll be right back to the Lane Metcalf gym. They continue to talk over at the scorers table. And obviously we don't have an idea what they're talking about down there. Hey, you can watch any of our programs on demand at ycnnow.com. Tune in whenever you want for local news, public affairs, and sports on YCN, your local view. Looks like Nick Shepard's got a hunk of cotton up his nose. They're spraying his uniform to get rid of the blood. He'll be back in. Meantime, Coach Matty having a chat with his kids. Maybe we can find out at halftime what that confab was all about, Andy.
And that's a good illustration of how physical this game is. Nick Shepard's been on the floor 3 times I've counted so far in this game, and he'll be on it a couple more by the time this game is over. That's what it takes to win these quarterfinal games. You've got to lay it on the line.
Right now, all 3 officials are huddled down in front of the Hollis bench talking about something, so we'll definitely want to find out what that was all about. Give it to you after the half. It's a good veteran crew of officials here. Now they're explaining something to the scoring table again. Game of the Week premieres each week on WYCU in high def on Comcast Channel 712. Wednesdays at 7:30 and 10:30 p.m. and of course on demand anytime at ycnnow.com. This could very well be our last game of the winter season, Andy, so we hope the folks have enjoyed all of our telecasts throughout the winter, hockey and basketball.
And it looks like KJ Maddie's going to shoot at the technical free throw. Lebanon's now in the double bonus. And I think this is the recent development they were discussing.
I'll tell you, a very important final 30 seconds for a team that was held to 2 points to come back and make it a 2-point game. Big foul shots. 8 points for Matty. 2-point game. A lot different than being down by 6 going into the half.
A lot different than being down by 16, or should I say 13, which is what they were down in the first half against Goffstown.
Well, with the technical, they also get the ball, so they could take the lead here, which would be amazing in the final seconds.
A huge swing of momentum.
They're going to kick it into the corner to Sal. Maddie, they got to hurry. And are they going to get the foul or are they get the shot?
Yep, I think they're going to call the foul. Like Sal was elevated, went to the basket, but he drew contact on the baseline, and he's going to be rewarded with .9 left in the first half. Sal's at the line.
Colin Sal looking for his first points of the night. So I don't know if you could possibly get the ball and put it back in .9 seconds, but
but they'll sure try.
They'll try. And that is the end of the first half of play. Lebanon with only 6 points in that period, and Hollis with only 8. 21-20, and very important final 30 seconds for the Raiders offensively there, Andy.
And it was a chance to get a good taste in your mouth at halftime. They're still down by that 1 point. They missed a late free throw, but they got to think that second quarter was very, very bad. They had turnovers, missed shots. They can come back strong in the second half.
Well, Keith Maddie's message is, we didn't play well offensively. We're only down by a point. For Hollis, that's a tough pill to swallow the final 30 seconds. They had a 6-point lead, an opportunity to go into the locker room with a lead of 6 points or more, and they let it slip away. So we'll see what happens in the second half, but this is going to be a barn burner.
Yeah, the Cavaliers, they understand that they're not going to get huge leads. They're a defensive-oriented team, and they're not going to run up and down the court. We saw some transition, but this score is right where the Cavaliers want it. 20s, maybe in the 40s, maybe 50s, but not high scoring. That's where the Raiders want it. Cavaliers are dictating tempo.
All right, we're going to put together a couple of highlights for you, and we come back, wrap up that first half. Stay with us. We'll be back to the Metcalf Gym right after this.
YCN's Game of the Week is brought to you in part by HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your energy specialists.
Welcome back. Halftime at the Lang Metcalf Gymnasium. 21-20, Hollis Cavaliers on top from the Hollis Brookline area. And in the final seconds of that half, they let a 6-point lead slip away, but it's been a first half of more defense than offense, Andy.
Yeah, and the best defensive player on the court, Jim, has been no doubt number 55 for the Hollis Brookline Cavaliers, Shea Whalen. Shea Whalen is 6'6", and he's been using that size to own the paint tonight. One of his blocks is this one right here as he goes up straight, and then another block. He is just owning the paint.
And yet, you got to wonder why he has spent so much time on the bench.
Yeah, that's an interesting development. I think maybe the tempo is more important. They're preferring the Cavaliers an offensive transition game over just a straight-up defensive game. But KJ Maddie, he's answered for the Raiders. He has 2 threes, both from the left corner, as he bangs this one home. And on the defensive end for the Raiders now, Martin Gradigan. He doesn't have any points in the first half, but he's got this nice block from behind. He got beat, but he didn't give up, blocked it from behind, and he let the Raiders fight to live another possession. That is exactly the kind of defense we've seen all night. We already have one player with a cotton swab up his nose from the physical contact. He's in dirt tonight, Jim.
And the foul shooting hasn't been good at all. Hollis Brookline, 1 of 6, and I think I've got Lebanon for like 9 of 14.
Yeah, they're leaving a lot of points out there, and with this physical game, if you leave all those free throws out there, it's such a waste. You got to get them in foul trouble, but you got to double up on that advantage and hit your free throws.
Shea Whalen leading Hollis Brookline with 7 points, and for Lebanon, KJ Maddie has 8 points, and Martin Gradigan has been shut down, and Dom Moore has been shut down. That gives you an idea of the defense being played here tonight. Yeah, there's a great defensive game going on right now, but I think this favors the Raiders because they're the highly explosive team, and if they can come out and hit maybe 2 threes in the second half, a couple of these perimeter shots are going to get them a nice big lead, and it might be too much for the slowly paced Cavaliers to overcome. All right, it is 21-20 at the end of 16 minutes of play, and a lot more hoop here in this quarterfinal coming up from Lebanon. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back for second half action. We've got a little clarity on what the whole discussion over the scorers table was, and apparently one of the players for Hollis was not wearing the number that is listed in the book. Trevor Bowler has number 20, and yet in the book it's number 12, or vice versa. Then anyways, it has to match, so it resulted in the technical foul. 21-20, and I'm sure halftime adjustments have been made. You can see, looks like Lebanon going with the original starting 5. They've got Shepard out there, along with Gage Young, Dominic Morrill, Martin Gradigan, KJ Matty. We'll see what Hollis sends out, see if they send out Shea Whalen.
And Jim, let's not forget this technicality. If the Cavaliers end up losing by 2 points, 1 point, that
over a uniform number.
Yeah, that could be the reason why.
Whalen is coming out. Well, so we've got Blake and Van Conant, Fothergill, Gallant, so they're going with the same starters. And the Raiders start with the ball. Going by a point. You know, Coach Matty had a lengthy discussion with his assistants before he went into the locker room, chatting about what they're going to do in the second half. See if they can create some open shots.
Yeah, this zone has just been so good. You want to compare it to something maybe a Syracuse going with their excellent length.
Well, Whalen doesn't get the ball to drop, but he does draw the foul. It's going to be on Nick Shepard.
Yeah, that's his 3rd foul.
He should go to the line. And it was Fothergill. No, it's not. It's not a shooting foul. Must have been on the floor before the shot. Oh, it's on Shepard, but it was not in the act of shooting. Fothergill will get the possession. And he had not come back in bounds yet. And they got it right back to him.
Yep, we're right back where we were in the first half. These defenses are really, really running the show.
45 points could win this game.
Absolutely.
Kick it out. Turnover. And a break. Dan Dental. And he'll go to the line.
And Bental went through the contact from Gradigan. Gradigan got called for the foul, was disagreeing with it, but regardless, that's going to be an and 1, and looks to be maybe a 4-point lead for the Cavaliers as they start this second half on a positive note.
Bental 0 for 1 from the line tonight. That's number 2, by the way, in Gradigan. And again, discussion going on over in the scorers table. Hollis 1 for 6 from the stripe tonight. Four-point lead. Matty is all alone on the perimeter on the right side, looking for a dangerous cross-court pass, looking for an open shot if they can get it to him. That's going to be out off Blake.
And there's just no breathing room for the Raiders right now. They're passing it really quickly, trying to get it from back and forth, but the Cavaliers are step for step with them.
That's a very athletic Hollis team. That's going to be out off of Papineau. And as we said in the open, Shea, for a big guy, moves very quick from side to side.
Yeah, Shea doesn't have a lot of extra weight. He's very lean, and that's what you want in a big man. You want him to get up and down very quickly.
Right now, operating right in front of the Lebanon student body. That's a tray.
Just what the doctor ordered for the Raiders. Bombs away for Dominic Morrill. After a cold first half, he's waking up.
1-point lead for Hollis. Well, it's going to be tough to win it in the paint. They're going to have to put some in from the outside. That's Blake. Back up to a 3-point lead. The winner gets either Plymouth or Portsmouth in the semifinals. The other games tonight, Pembroke playing Kennett. Pembroke should win that. Pelham playing Brady. That's the other bracket. It'll be Pelham or Brady against Pembroke or Kennett. Coach Matty says if they can get through this, they would love a shot at Pembroke again.
After 2 very close losses to Pembroke, they're chomping at the bit, but they got to get by these Cavaliers first.
Again, moving it up tempo. Radishin. 5:39 to go in this third period. 26-23. We'll be right back. Lebanon underneath their own basket. On the violation. And a block by Whalen. Radishin can be careful. He'll throw up another tee. Kicking the ball into the wall. Smart schoolyard play by Blake.
And the Raiders get it right back, though.
Yeah, they throw it right away.
Oh, man.
Matty tried to get it to Morrill. Just a little miscommunication.
You got to love the unselfish, and though nobody's doing it by themselves. It's team basketball tonight, and they need each other. It's hard to score. Oh, Colin Sow almost had that.
I'll tell you, whoever it is, Portsmouth or Plymouth will have their hands full with the winner of this game. That's the big guy. He wanted a foul, too, but they got the 2. It's a 5-point lead now. The largest lead of the night has been 6 by Hollis. Got an underneath to Pelletier for the shot. He was fouled, but didn't get the roll.
Yeah, and Pelletier, he's been getting the ball down in the low block, not even looking to score. That, I think, is something they need to take advantage of. Even if you're not going to put up the shot, take a dribble in, make everyone collapse, and you can get your friends open for those perimeter shots that Lebanon loves to hit.
Yeah, he is 0 for 3 at the line tonight.
And Shea Whalen now has 4 fouls.
That's huge.
Absolutely.
Still with 5:09 to go in the third period. And you know what Coach Matty's going to do when he comes back into this game. They're going to go right at him. Double team in the corner. They break it. Bentall.
Oh, and Bentall loses it. They had a 3-on-1, and it slipped out of his hand.
Oftentimes, if you break the press like that, you will end up with the advantage at the other end. They just couldn't turn it into points. 4-point lead. Morrill driving on Papineau. Kicks at the corner. Sow.
And Dominic Morrill's taken over. Dominic Morrill tried to get Sow open. He missed. He cleaned it up himself.
And a turnover will come back the other way. You also need something to get this student body into it. 28-26. They shut Dom Morrill down in the first half. He has got 3-5 here in the second. We'll be right back. 4:42 to go in period number 3. Well, just a great quarterfinal game here. 28-26, 4:42 to go in this third period. Watch the YCN News on WYCX HD at 5:30 and 11 p.m. Every day with replays on WYCU at 7 and 10. TV News is back in the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region on YCN, your local view. And of course, we will have our Kearsarge Hoyle turning up the heat play of the game. Chances are it might come down to the final play the way this game is going, Andy.
And it could be a defensive play just as well as it could be an offensive one.
All right, it's down to a 2-point difference. Hollis headed up to 6 at one point in the first half. They headed up to 5 here in the second half, but Lebanon just won't go away. They have not had the lead since the first half. A senior-laden team here for the Raiders. Coming off their best regular season in 15 years. And it would be a shame for them to have it end here tonight. Steal by Gallant. He'll take it. And he's fouled.
That's a heads-up play by Gallant. He noticed that KJ Matty was looking at his coach for the play. And what did he do? He creeped up on the wing, and he jumped the passing lane. And that's an easy play for a good defender. He had his head up, and his hands are active.
pleading his case with the zebra shirt, but guess what?
You mean they're not going to take it back?
Did you see that? Can you imagine that official said, oh, okay, all right, no foul.
I think some boys in blue would have something to say about that.
I think the Hollis coaches would go bananas. All right, Gallant now 1 for 1. Line tonight, he's got 5 points. Make it 6. And it's a 4-point lead. And again, as we've mentioned, the big guy, Shea Whalen's got 4 fouls on him. He is on the bench right now. And Lebanon's got to go to work and take advantage of that if they can. Moving the ball quickly, trying for the shot. There it is. A.J. Maddie, number 3 on the night. 1-point lead.
Is that really a freshman hitting all those threes in this quarterfinal? Man, he is very cool. Oh, Jesse Wynn's out.
Going to be a foul. Young's going to go to the line. Chance to tie it. Maybe get the lead.
And Young attacked the basket without hesitation. Why? No Shea Whalen on the bench with 4 fouls. The big man has opened up the running game for the Raiders.
As we said, you know that Coach Maddie's going to try to take advantage of that big absence in the middle. Young is 0 for 1 at the line now. Foul shots, foul shots, foul shots. They have missed 9 as a team from the line.
Yeah, that's leaving way too many eggs in the basket. You got to take advantage of those free throws.
.320 to go here. Fothergill out front. On the steal is Morrill.
Oh yeah, Dom Morrill really wants this game in his hands right now. I can see it.
Tried to force an entry pass. Picked off by Papineau. Left side. You got a pushing foul. That's going to be on Hollis. 3:03. We'll pick up the call. 3:03 to go in the period. 30-29 Hollis. We'll be right back.
YCN's Game of the Week is brought to you in part by the New London Hospital, a community hospital committed to safe, quality care, resulting in a healthier community.
That is going to be the 3rd foul of the game on Ryan Papineau. Opportunity for the Raiders here to take the lead for the first time since the first half.
They've had their outside shots fall. That's been the difference.
Stripped from behind by Logan Blake. Logan picking up, trying to pick up for the void from Shea not being in there. And yet another foul. I'm going to come down to who can make the foul shots.
Yeah, and I don't think one team has really declared themselves a better free throw shooting team just yet.
Cheer Freddie, Gratigen, and Wally all check into the game. Now Morrill's going to get a breather. Hollis ball underneath their own basket.
Oh, we got players on the floor.
Going to be on the Cavaliers. You can tell because it's right in front of the Hollis student body.
Yeah, easy way to tell.
Just look over there and look at the face and you can pick it up. That's number 2 on Logan Blake.
And that's not good. That's their senior captain. They cannot afford to lose that leadership right now. Did they call a carry on him?
Yeah. No, offensive foul.
Oh, offensive foul, okay.
Offensive foul.
Yeah, but losing his offhand.
This game is being called very tight, as you'd expect in the quarterfinal. Hollis with a 1-point lead. That was Gallant.
I like Gallant's game. He doesn't shoot a lot of outside shots. He takes it, gets a good angle, and puts it off the glass.
Good recovery by Matty.
Oh,
Underneath.
what a pass.
Beautiful pass to Pelletier, just couldn't drop it. It's going to be on Matty?
Yep, it's going to be the
That's
third
that's
for
third.
KJ Matty. Oh, another turnover for the Cavaliers. It's because of an offensive foul on Gallant. And this game has really come to a halt right now, Jim.
It's number 4 on Gallant, too.
Yeah, that's very important. They got a lot of foul trouble, these Cavaliers, something they're going to have to deal with. Not even the fourth quarter yet.
All right, Matty bringing it up with 1:47 to go, and they trail by 3. You got Austin Wally over here in the corner. KJ Matty. That's 4 for the freshman. He's got 3 more years to play, but he doesn't want the season to end either. And a foul underneath as Logan Blake went back up with a rebound. We're tied at 32 here.
And something I noticed is the Cavaliers, they really don't shoot a lot of threes. But when they do, it's right after a Lebanon-made 3. They want to come back and answer. They weren't able to get the 3, but they got the offensive glass, which is something they have dominated all night. And here they are back at the free throw line.
Logan Blake now 0 for 3 from the line tonight. A foul on Giuffretti's his second. Really 2:32. Quarterfinal action here. Chance again for the Raiders to take their first lead since midway through the second period. And the travel is called. Full court pressure as Logan Blake will attempt to get it in. Man-to-man full court. Fothergill picked up by Matty. We're at the minute mark here. And an open 3 over there, but he wouldn't take it. So we kick it up top. Fothergill.
That is a big time for that big shot.
He nailed it
lead.
against Cole Brown to put the nail in their coffin. 4-point lead now. Pelletier comes back. 2-point lead.
Badly needed points in the paint for the Raiders. They can't live and die on KJ Matty's 3 points.
Fothergill trying to bring it up against the pressure. 24 seconds. They don't have the big guy in there to get it to. Giuffretti ties him up. It should be a great final 8 minutes, Andy.
Yeah, you got a 1-possession game, and that's going to be a 1-possession game throughout the fourth quarter. I am really gonna. It's tough to see who's going to come out on top in this. It's been so close the whole time.
At some point, Hollis has got to take a shot and put the big guy in. He's got 1 foul to give, 1 foul left. He's out of the game. 9 seconds. Student body counting down the clock prematurely. Give the home crowd a technical on that one, Andy. Huh?
Got to use that home court advantage.
3 seconds on the clock. All right, Don Morrow coming in. He obviously does not want to pick up a foul in the final 3 seconds of this period. And that's the way it's going to end. 36 to 34 in favor of Hollis. We've got 8 minutes, maybe, of basketball still to go. We'll be right back. Well, at least 8 minutes of basketball to go here, Andy. 36-34. And the Raiders have come back and tied it. They have not had the lead since midway through the second period. And again, we see Cavaliers coming out without big Shea Whalen. He's only had 9 points on the bench with foul trouble. They got to go to him sooner or later.
That's one storyline, and another storyline is to see how the experience for the Raiders, does it pay off? They had a first-round playoff game that went into overtime, and it was tight the whole time.
Whalen's a senior. Van Conant's a senior. Shot from the corner. Colin Sau.
He's been banged up, and he bangs home a 3.
First lead of the half.
That's a very good shot by Ben Tall. One dribble pull-up, tough shot. He's a good player.
Quick double team in the corner on Shepard. Quick hands underneath by Blake to get in that passing lane. Every possession, so crucial right here.
And here he is, the big fella. Comes back with 7 minutes to play. He's got 4 fouls, number 55. Shea Whalen, 4 fouls. Will he stay aggressive on defense? We'll see.
And how soon will the Raiders go right at him? You certainly can't miss him out there, Andy. It's going to be a break off the turnover. Andy Bentall.
Oh!
There's his presence right off.
There it is, right there.
Comes at 40-37. Put back is good by Gallant.
And the Cavaliers have taken momentum, and they have taken a 5-point lead with Gallant wanting more at the free throw line. These Cavaliers have come out strong in the fourth quarter.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if this 5-point lead, if they go on to win this game, we'll go back to that block after Lebanon come back to take the lead. And at 7:06, Whalen comes off the bench and jams it. We'll see if it plays out that way. It's a 5-point lead, but still lots of time left. That was a huge block. Let everybody know in Raider land that he's back out on the court. Trying to find Sau in the corner, see if he can light it up for 3 again.
And that's important. If they can get Colin Sau open for 3, that's just another sharpshooter they got. They got 3 or 4 of them out of the court at any time.
Martin Gratigan working the point. Is blocked, gets it back, kicks it out. That's a 3. Austin Wally. Back to a 2-point lead.
And Gratigan really had to struggle to get into the paint, but that's what you got to do. Be stubborn. Get in the paint and kick it out.
Good inside position.
Gratigan going deep.
Wally. And it goes. Gratigan. And the foul.
Now who has the momentum? Clearly with the Raiders. And this game has been swinging back and forth, and these are our most violent swings. Gratigan going deep off the miss, gets the nice outlet pass, lays it in and one with a little celebration after. Martin Gratigan getting his name called from the home crowd.
Well, 18 points against Goffstown, and he has 2 here, but never any bigger than right there. We're tied, 5:25 to go. That was that foul was on Bentall, his second. Every time there's a foul underneath, the Hollis coaching staff holds their breath.
Oh, big contact. Oh, there's some pushing. And Shea Whalen, Dom Morrill, the biggest players on each team, they're showing that they want this game more than the other. It's getting heated.
And Coach Matty wants some sort of a foul call the way Whalen went down on top of Morrill over there.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact in that corner.
Right in front of the Hollis student body. Got a timeout call by Coach Matty with 5:14 to go here. 42-42. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
YCN's Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Lake Sunapee VNA and Hospice. They partner with physicians and hospitals throughout the region to care for patients in their homes.
Yeah, here's the story. 5:14 to go in regulation. We're tied at 42. And certainly both student bodies are into it. Officials doing a great job of keeping control. Coach Matty still wants to know why there wasn't a call over there, but be that as it may.
Yeah, it's not often that I feel vibrations across the court when somebody falls, but that was a very, very hard
You
call.
had two. You got Morrill and Whalen. That's a nuclear reaction when they fall to the floor together. All right, Cavaliers with the possession.
Oh, through the wickets.
Nice drive. Doesn't go for Fothergill.
In transition.
Alan Sow stopped by Whalen.
And that was a good call by the referees. Whalen clearly blocked it back off Kalen Sow before he landed. And Whalen has 4 fouls, but he wasn't as scared to go straight up there and get the block.
They're ready to give the ball to Hollis, and Coach Matty said, wait a minute. Now Shepard will inbound it.
Oh, I thought I saw it go off Kalen Sow after the block, but hey, referees, they got the whistle.
Sow. (42-42). 4:48 to go here. The winner gets Portsmouth or Plymouth in the semis. Despite being blocked, Gallant drops it. He's got 12 points of the night.
Yeah, and a majority have been off those right-handed floaters off glass.
And Morrill is fouled. Going to be more important than ever.
Yeah, Lebanon and Hollis Brookline are in the bonus, so we're going to see some free throws from now on. We got 4.5 to play.
Morrill 0 for 1 tonight. Ventall with his third foul. Well, certainly Lebanon is no stranger to overtime games. Coming off overtime game against Goffstown in the first round. So they have played well tight when they've had to. 2 big foul shots. And we're tied again, 44. And a timeout.
We're going to have an official timeout. We're going to have a substitution.
These last 4:30 are going to be very hectic here. Full court pressure. Matty on the ball. They're going for the home run, and that's in left field seats.
And the head coach of the Cavaliers, Michael Stousey, he had his hands in the air after that pass landed. He was not happy with that decision from his seniors.
All right, Martin Gradijan. Well, with the semifinals moving to the bigger gym, this is the last game on this court, regardless, for these seniors on Lebanon, right?
Yes, both in the semifinals will be played in the University of New Hampshire's basketball gym.
A little bit different depth perception when you're throwing up those baskets there, huh?
Yeah, nothing like shooting in your home court. These Raiders definitely got the advantage not only with the crowd, but with the surroundings.
Colin Sow gives the Raiders the lead with 4:25 to go.
The lead. These guys were down 6 early in this fourth quarter, and they are not scared to come back.
I tell you, he missed his first shot of the game, but Colin Sow with 6 big points, 3 from the line. He's going to get a breather. 2-point lead. Full court pressure by the Raiders on their home court in a quarterfinal.
Martin Gradijan being a pest right now.
Fothergill.
Oh, I think they're saying did he step out of bounds? I think he may have stepped out of bounds, or we're going to have a foul on Gradigan. Nope, no personal foul on Gradigan.
Called by the official over on this side of the court. 46-44. That'll send someone to the line for a 1-and-1. I think it's going to be Fothergill. He has a three-pointer tonight. Nothing at the line. He's not been to the line yet. I take that back. He's 0 for 1. He is 0 for 1 from the line. That's number 4 on Gradigan. And he's not a guy you want to lose either in the final 4 minutes. Now he's going to take a breather. Chance to tie it here for Fothergill. It's a 1-point lead for the Raiders.
Just a junior, Fothergill's got a very important free throw he has to answer. Dominic Morrow's at the other end.
Got them both. We're tied again.
Deep three.
Sow. 7 threes for Lebanon and 1 for Hollis. A timeout on the court. 49-46. We'll be right back. Colin Saw in the zone, Andy.
Yeah, he passed it. KJ Maddie and him were passing it back and forth. So he passes it back to KJ Maddie, and he calls for the ball, and he gets it back, and with no hesitation, he fires it from deep.
Yeah, that was not close.
No, that was like 3-point land from the NBA stripe, and he swishes it. The confidence of Colin Saw to step up and knock that down. It's a 3-point lead for the Raiders with 4 minutes, 5 seconds. And Jim, this game, it's coming down to the wire.
I know you went to Lebanon High School, but you got to remain calm. Remain calm.
Sorry.
All right. Now you got Jeff Reddy, you got Gradigan, you got Colin Saw, Austin Pelletier, Dom Morrill, Gage Young, and Nick Shepard all playing in their last game on this court. They'd like to continue their career at UNH. 4:04 to go. They're up by 3, pulling back and letting Fothergill bring it up. No full court pressure. That surprise you at all, Andy?
No, half court man-to-man. You really don't want to get up an easy basket. You work too hard to give up an easy one now.
And the only one with the 3 is Fothergill. He throws it up.
What a scrum.
They'll kick it out for the 3. There it is. Fothergill. He's a junior. We're tied again, 49-49.
And there was a good 15-20 seconds where the ball was not in possession of any one team.
It was like a pinball.
Exactly.
Out of 3:15. Of course, if you're home watching this now, I mean, you know who won, I guess, but I'll tell you, being here for it, just a great high school basketball game. All right, they're taking their time. KJ Maddie.
Yeah, we mentioned before, no shot clock in high school. They can dribble this until their heart's content. We'll see. Let's see how much Lebanon wants to push the tempo if they're content for 1 shot a minute. Let's see how long they will hold.
See how long before Bentall decides to go out. This can backfire on you too, Andy.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be an interesting strategy because Lebanon likes their 3-point shot, and you want to get as many of those up as you can, whereas the Cavaliers, they have a more dependable offensive repertoire. They go to in the paint. So if you're going to stall them out like this, the 4-corner drill, you're going to have to put a lot of pressure on your shooters to hit that 1 shot.
I'll tell you, this can come back to bite you. That defense does not have to come out. Down to 2:07.
Yeah, they've been bouncing it for a full minute now.
This is called taking the air out of the ball.
Yeah. 4 corners was popularized by Dean Smith at UNC.
Well, they said the last person to keep Michael Jordan under 30 points was Dean Smith.
Yeah, you spread them out the defense. This zone is finally extending to half court. This is what they want.
They're going to call foul. Is it on Whalen? No. It's on Gallant, but he's done. And he's got 12 points on the night.
Yeah, it's going to hurt losing Gallant. He was a very, very effective wing. Used his height, got into the lane, but they're without that. And they lost not only Gallant, the senior, but he had good size.
All right, Gage Young at the line. He's 0 for 2. I'll tell you, that takes a lot of chutzpah on the part of Coach Matty to go to that in a tie game.
Yeah.
That might be the play of the game there if they win this.
I might have to ask him about that after the game, and we can get a ruling for the YCN crowd.
All right, Young trying to shoot quickly. You don't want to stay there bouncing the ball, thinking about it. He just took it and shot it up by a point. Now you think if they can get a stop here and go back to that and force Hollis to come out and foul, it might work to their favor. Got them both.
Big.
Young, 2 big shots by the senior. 2-point lead, minute 39 to go. Hang on. I don't think they're going to let someone under the big guy. He'll put it in. Whalen. He now has 11 points, and the timeout is taken with a minute 24 to go. 51-51. We'll be right back.
YCN's Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Lake Sunapee VNA and Hospice. They partner with physicians and hospitals throughout the region to care for patients in their homes.
Minute 24 to go here at the Lang Metcalf Gymnasium. 51-51. You wonder what old Lang would be thinking about Coach Matty taking the air out of the ball in a tie game, huh? With 3 minutes to go?
Yeah, that's a way to put your stamp on the game. Coach Matty, he's not afraid to make that move, and we'll see if it works out. Interesting strategy. It's not very common, but if it works in the end, why not?
51-51, and again, Cavaliers, as they've done all night, pulling back into their zone defense. Matty will bring it up. Colin Saw will check on the wing. Minute 16. Well, does he want a win or overtime? Minute 6. Will Bentel come out on him? Are they playing for the last shot, Andrew?
I think they're going to try, because if they're not going to get a very tight contest out here at the half-court line, they're going to take it down to about 20, 30 seconds, and then they're going to start doing their offensive sets, moving the ball back and forth.
Amazing strategy by the home team here.
And what it does is it puts a tremendous amount of pressure on your shooters, because you're playing for 1, maybe 2 with an offensive rebound.
But with little time on the court, you do it right, you're guaranteed of overtime.
Yes, absolutely. That is what they're going for. If they fail, it's overtime, not a loss.
Now timeout is being taken by Matty. Well, I tell you, this is some interesting strategy going on right now. 22.7, 51-51. We'll be right back. 22.7. It's easy for us as armchair strategists to figure out what's going to happen here, but you got to think they're obviously going to play for the last shot, but what kind of a shot will it be? Will it be perimeter? Will they try and pound underneath and draw a foul? What do you think?
From watching this game, the Cavaliers have the size. They have the advantage in the paint. You can get into the paint, but you got to do it to open up the outside. Inside, out, you can look to drive and lay it up, or you can look to drive and kick. What they need to do is just get enough for their outside shooters to knock it down. We got Colin Sow right in front of us. He's in the corner. Whaley in the other one. They got their shooters, and they're ready to go.
Let's see, 14 seconds. All right, we are down to 10. We're either going another few minutes, or somebody's going home. Sow in the corner, puts it up.
Oh!
The picture tells the story, Andrew. Play of the game?
Wow.
Wow. Just let the picture tell the story.
And I'm looking at the faces of the Cavaliers right now, and they're in disbelief. They're shaking their heads, and so am I. That was...
Let's bring that shot back. Take us through it as you recall it. The final few seconds of this game. It came down to 13 as they made their move to the hoop.
So KJ Maddie has it at the top of the key. He drives to his right. Tight defense, draws two, kicks it to Colin Sau in the corner, as I mentioned. He was waiting, he had the shot. It was contested. Back rim went straight up. That was the key. The rebound wasn't long, it was right at the hoop. Gage Young, he had an offensive rebound, he put it back up. Dominic Morrow tips it. It lands on the back of the iron and falls in, and oh my goodness, the crowd goes nuts. They swarm Dom Morrow, and we will never forget this game, but Dom Morrow, this may be his best game of his life.
I mean, he tipped it in as he was falling back onto the floor. All right, we'll wrap things up, run down the score tally. Lebanon is going to move to the semifinals at UNH. We'll be right back. Now, needless to say, it was a very stunned Hollis Brookline team. It felt bad for the kids. They left it all out on the court as they walked right by us here. A classy bunch of kids from Hollis Brookline, led by Danny Bentall with 11. Shea Whalen had 11. Fothergill had 8. Gallant had 12. I think maybe, for whatever reason, I think Whalen might have spent a little too much time on the bench tonight because he certainly was a force when he came back in. But it all came down to the final 3 minutes when Coach Maddie went into his bag of tricks and decided it was time to take the air out of the ball and work it and try and play for that last shot, which he did. We had about 13 seconds to go is when they made the move to the hoop.
Yeah, and KJ Maddie was just sitting out there with 3 minutes to play, taking that air out of the ball, like you said. But when they attacked, it was KJ Maddie, and it was him all night. He had a bunch of threes, and in that third quarter, when things were bleak and they weren't scoring, KJ Maddie had 2 big buckets to keep the Raiders just barely alive on the offensive end. But he drives it in the last possession of the game to his right, gets the double, gets it to Colin Sau, who puts up the 3, and he had just made a 3 in a couple previous possessions. So he was close, but back rim, that high rebound, lets everyone gather underneath the hoop. And this is something that's really unexpected. The tallest player on the court didn't get the rebound. Whalen did not get that rebound. He could have secured the victory, or excuse me, secured the overtime for the Cavaliers, but he gives up not 1 but 2 rebounds. Don't want to harp on him, but that's a very good break for the Raiders. And Dominic Morrow, Johnny on the spot. He's got very good hands, soft touch, and it was all on display there.
Right, you said at halftime that Lebanon was going to have to get some threes. They had 2 in the first half. In the second half, Wally had 1, Sau had 2, Maddie came out with 2 more, Morrill had a 3, and for all intents and purposes, that was the scoring they needed. And again, Maddie, the only one at double figures with 14. Our Kearsarge Oil turning up the heat. Play of the game, no doubt. No doubt.
Play of the year. That was unbelievable.
And you know, this crowd just doesn't want to leave. They don't want to leave. So, but that is going to do it for us. It's been a great winter. What a way to close out our winter on WYC. And again, the next time you do business with any of our sponsors, make sure you thank them for bringing high school sports into your living room, either on your TV or through your computer. And Andy, a pleasure working with you. Let's do it again next winter.
Jim, it's always a great time. I'll see you there.
53-51, Lebanon heading to Durham against Portsmouth or Plymouth, and hopefully a berth in the state championship. For Andy Morris, I'm Jim Rivers. Good night from the Lang Metcalf Gymnasium in Lebanon. Puts it up.